about to hear Paul Amadeus Lane and GLP-1 Streetz. Known by many as Paul on Wheels. We making it do what it does. Letting people know how I feel. Let's ride, we talking health, talking grind, breaking barriers clean. No excuses on the journey, we stay chasing the dream. Get your mind locked in, set your goals on repeat. We got ups, we got downs, but we still don't miss a beat. Oh, in GLP-1 Streetz, we moving with pride. Hear the trends, hear the wins, got creators worldwide. We make it do what it does, never stopping to climb. Living better every day, one step at a time. Hey. Shout out RMZ, always keeping it real. Stereo with the fire, got that GLP-1 feel. DD the downsizing diva, simply Taisha in the zone. Losing the grace, bring the truth, steady holding her own. Calamity Jane slide through, yeah, she bringing the flame. Perfectly pounded, moving strong, everybody know her name. Teddy D and Toby rolling steady on the ride. G's 101, locked in on that lifestyle pride. Traces of twine, showing how to stay consistent every day. Cookie chipping everybody on in a special way. Man, many been holding down from the start. Pepper Bellflower worked hard, slid right into them jeans, did a part. Melt to the beat, keeping the conscience tight, keeping all of us in line just right. And a special shout out to the queen of GLP-1 Streetz, Bob. Health at any cost, slaying this game for years. Someone we all look up to, no matter the call. Heart of Johnny, Felicia, Marie B, and Jules cross the sea. Yeah, this GLP-1 movement hits globally. We stay focused on the prize, on the life that we seek. Welcome to GLP-1 Street.
What's going on, Joe? How you doing?
Flipping love that. I love that. That's so cool. I absolutely love it.
Thank you.
Did you do it using the tools that Hodgery was showing us?
Well, if I tell you, Joe, I'm gonna have to kill you. Well,
the lips are sealed. I won't tell a word.
Wait. You know, I will say this, Joe. I am a musician. Before my accident, I was a songwriter. I was in different bands back in the days, wrote songs, even did things that were out. So to make a long story short, I do use technology, but I put my own little flair with it too as well. So
that's some serious flair on that one.
Thank you.
Love that one.
Thank you. Shout out to my man RMZ. Thank you so much, RMZ, for coming. You must be on lunch break, RMZ, because because I know you grinding today, brother. All right, who else we got joining us? We have Carnivore Muscle. That interview, that was an interview you did today, right?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah,
You're
really.
celebrating 6 years of Carnivore.
Yeah, really enjoyed that. Really enjoyed your story, my brother. Really did. And thank you all for joining me on these GLP-1 Streets. I am Paul Amadeus Lane. That lovely woman right there is Joe. Joe, I'm so great to have you. You know, I normally don't do an early live stream like this, but Joe is across the sea, as the song said. And so me and Joe, we collabed. It's 11 o'clock my time here in Southern California. And what time is it your time?
It's just coming up to 7:05 in the evening over in the UK. The sky is dark. We're already in nighttime now. Yes.
Z is in the house. Hey, Z, thank you for joining. Teddy D, hold on. Teddy D, you know you in that song. Teddy, in the song we just played, I gave you a shout out and Toby too. So if you missed the beginning of it, you are definitely, you and Toby made it in that song. So great to have you back. If you haven't seen Teddy D's video, check it out. I commented on it. I said, Teddy D, I got to get your number, man. So I can call you or text you for proof of life, man, because you be going MIA sometimes, man, and we be worried about you, man. So so glad you dropped into these GLP-1 Streets to drop that new video, Teddy. Really appreciate it. And Teddy, you on my radar too. You and RMZ. I want to interview you guys on these GLP-1 Streets too as well. But so great to have you join us. I wanted to have Joe on because Joe has such an incredible story. And the reason why Joe and I had a conversation before we came on. And okay. All right. Let me compose myself, okay? There's people in this game that I admire. You are one of them. RMZ is one of them. Teddy is one of them. Mel to the B is one of them. DeeZ is one of them. Simply Taisha, Perfectly Pamela, Grays, Cookie. Cookie's in the house. Hey, Cookie.
Cookie made it into the song.
Yes, Cookie made it into the song. Yeah, she sure did. And then Calamity Jane, Harjareen, Felicia Marie B, Kimmy J,
Yes.
G's One of One, Grant. If I missed giving you some props, I admire you. And the reason why I admire y'all is because y'all took this thing that we have, this opportunity on these GLP-1s. You took this opportunity and you were serious with it. You didn't play around with it. You wanted to make sure that you had some success. Not everybody doing this out there. Some of them are like playing around with this. They're not noticing the seriousness of it. Even Z, I told Z she needs to do a YouTube channel because she's lost a lot of weight herself. So
beautiful.
So Joe, let's have our chat, my dear. So Joe, your story has been well chronicled of why you are in these GLP-1 streets. And for ones, Joe, who didn't follow your journey in the beginning, if you wouldn't mind giving us what brought you to these GLP-1 streets and what got you to really think more serious about your health, Joe.
Again, great question. And I'm really, really, really glad to be on these GLP-1 streets. I feel the honor. I'm really, really pleased that you invited me because I know that I'm going to have a good time with you, Paul. So I'm going to make sure that I give you the truth, but I'm always going to try and keep it positive because that's what my story is always about, hope and positive mindset. And that's took me through some rough times when I was really unwell. So for those of you who don't know me, hey, it's me, Joe, from Joe Sleep and Sim Down Journey. And I'm really excited to be here, literally. That's my tagline. But the literally thing is so real because on April the 3rd of 2025, I was still dying every 45 seconds. I got severe sleep apnea that was so bad that I would stop breathing for every 45 seconds. My heart would stop beating for up to 4 seconds. And my blood oxygen levels were about 86% on average. And every time I went to bed, I didn't know if I was going to wake up. So I'd already got everything planned for, moving on, letting my nephews and nieces enjoy my riches. Somebody had to take Miss Mary, but I'd already signposted out. But I still had the hope that something was going to make a difference. And on the 4th of April, 2025, I got Colin my CPAP machine, and I'd already been using the GLP-1 for 5 days. And that difference, it just opened up my world. It opened up my world. I put on more than 10 stone, which we know in the UK is actually 140 pounds. So we measure a stone as 14 pound per stone. And I'd put 140 pound on since having COVID in 2020 because everything was just going crazy with my body and the ill health of it all. And now, because of the GLP-1 and things that I'm doing to work to my health journey, the weight's coming off. I'm speaking better. I'm only using my inhaler every now and again. And I've got Sir Michael Caine, who until GLP-1, I couldn't even walk. I needed 2 grown men to pull me out of the settee and then help me to get to wherever I needed to be. Now I've just got my Caine Sir Michael.
Wow. Joe, this is why I wanted to have you on, because your story is incredible. And the reason why I say that is, for some reason on YouTube, ones who get like most of the shine, most of the followers, most of the watch hours, It's people talking about drama stuff. You know, you have a real life story of someone who couldn't get up and stand without help. And here you are able to do that now. I mean, to me, that is like a minor miracle. That needs to be shouted out to the rooftops. Like this woman right here, she went from not being able to stand, needing two people to help her up, can now walk with Sir Michael Caine. And
he's here, look, he's here.
And she's doing her thing. See, this is what these GLP-1 streets are about. We talk about the real stories out there, people who are changing, like, and Joe, when you were able to do that, how did that make you feel? And before you answer that, we'll get to everyone's questions in a minute. If you have a question, put a Q on it, and we'll definitely do that. Before you answer that, Joe, I want to give a special shout out to our friend right here, Carnivore Muscle. Thank you so much, my friend, and we'll definitely get to your question in a minute. Joe, how did that make you feel the first time you were able to get up on your own with just Sir Michael Caine?
I think, well, it started even before that. I was saying to Downsizing Diva, one of the things that I've noticed happening first was that when I was brushing my teeth, I've got a basin area, and I used to have to sort of like struggle to get to the bathroom doing that. And then I would lean on whatever it was. I couldn't get into the shower on my own. And it took me about an hour to get myself clean every day because I was just so out of breath from just trying to move around to do that. Well, one day, I think it was about week 4, and normally I'd be cleaning my teeth with my arms on the side of the thing like that and cleaning my teeth. And then suddenly I noticed I was able to stand up and hold on still. And I'm still holding on to stuff now, but still hold on. And suddenly I found I was able to stand up, and it blew my mind. I blew my mind. And we know how excitable I get. We all know on my channel how excitable I get. But I was just in shock. It was in shock. And then it started to be that I could move around the house, holding on to things. And then now, as I say, now I've got Sir Michael. He's helping me get up and down the stairs without having to hold things. I just need to hold on to Sir Michael. And I don't know if you saw that video a few weeks ago where I was vacuuming. I was vacuuming my stairs.
I saw that.
I mean, and that's the kind of drama that happens on my channel. She's able to vacuum her stairs and dance whilst I've got Sir Michael. But it's a real thing. I've not been able to do this for years. And now it's all these things are starting to come back. And I'm so excited, literally, about the fact that these things keep happening. It's amazing.
It is, Joe. It really is. And if you can do me a favor, share this stream right now.
Yes.
Again, because Joe's story is incredible. We have to get her story out there even more. Shout out to people who came in. Mayor Mindy's in the house. There's a special message for her. She said, hey, I'm late, but I'm happy to be here. Check out these 2 special people coming together across the ocean. Yes. Thank you, Mayor Mindy. Really appreciate that. Thank you. And Joe, what has been the response of some of your friends, your family, when they see this transformation? How have they kind of noticed this, and what's been their reaction?
So I love my family. I love my nephews. My eldest nephew, Lewis, he's 32 this year. He's 32 next month. And me and Lewis have been tight ever since he was born, and we're good friends. And he knows that he knows that I'm his auntie, but he also treats me like his best friend as well. And a couple of months ago, before that, we went to, in fact, it was the March. He said, "Will you come to my son's first birthday party?" And I said, "You know what? I will be there." And the reason why I said I was going to be there was because I didn't think I'd ever be there again. I didn't think I'd ever see anyone again. So this was the month before I started the GLP-1. And so I won't tell you the rigmarole of me getting to Peterborough, which is like 2 hours away. It was such a journey and such an ordeal. But I was there for the whole party. A big grey blob, because I was so unwell. You know what it's like for us people of colour. When we're unwell, we lose the colour in our skin, don't we? And we become grey. And I was a big grey blob just sitting on his couch. And then that was where the two men needed to put. I didn't eat a thing. I didn't drink a thing, because the idea of having to get up to then go to the loo, it was horrifying to me. So anyway, so he'd see me at this stage, and then he saw the rigmarole of people trying to get me back into the car, you know, and like me collapsing because I was struggling to walk on my feet, the two men holding me up as collapsing and all that stuff. And anyway, he saw that in March. He came over to Nottingham in July, beginning of July. So it was 3 months I'd been on this plan, and I'd lost something like 35 pounds. Mm-hmm. And he got out of his car, and I was stood at the door. Remember, I couldn't walk. I was stood at the door with Sir Michael, and I could see he was struggling to keep it together. And he was just like, wow. And I was going, I know. He was going, wow. But he was with his little daughter. So I think that's why he was really struggling to keep it together.
Yeah.
And it just broke me, but it broke me for all the good reasons, because again, we didn't think I was going to be here. I babysat his son and his daughter for the first time ever in my life. Wow. Babysat them last December that's just gone. And my mum says, if you want now, because I'm now here, you could go home. I went, no, Mum, says, I'm babysitting. They've put me in charge of the children. I'm babysitting. And my mum said, do you know what, Joe? None of us thought you'd be here. And I knew I didn't feel that I was going to be here. But knowing that my family didn't think I was going to be there. And now look at all the things that I'm celebrating with them. It's just amazing. It's amazing. So as you say, life is so blessed. And I want to, you were saying about in these GLP-1 streets, we've got a responsibility to show up and show out.
Absolutely. That's what we got, Joe. And Joe, really cool, amazing things about that story. But what stood out in my mind is that you live in the real Nottingham. I mean, for us, Nottingham was a Robin Hood, the sheriff of Nottingham, but you actually live in Nottingham.
I can see the cattle. I can see the cattle from my house.
My goodness. Joe, when I come across the pond, you got to show me all this stuff, all right?
You are definitely. I'm going to take you everywhere.
All right.
As to the king and queen of chair dancing, the first place we're going clubbing.
We'll definitely do it. And Joe, when I hearing you recount that, Joe, were you ever in a dark place when it comes to your health, or were you like resolved, like it is what it is, or did it? Because you seem like a very always happy, jovial person. Did that change when you were at your worst health wise, or were you always just this ball of sunshine, this beautiful smile, always smiling? Has this always been you?
I would say this has always been me. But when I was I didn't have the energy. So, you guys know, you're going to see me on a video. You're going to see me in a live chat, all the emojis, all of the smiles and things. And that is truly who I am. But when I had barely any energy, I was feeling it inside. I just didn't have enough energy to emote it. For me, the dark place came when I started getting better. Because I remember when, and I'm saying it's came, I keep pushing it down. And if I'm honest, I'm going to keep pushing it down because I'm having the time of my life and life is a blessing. But suddenly to now have a future when you'd already resigned yourself to the fact that you weren't going to have a future, it blows my mind. I mean, you know that this is my year. I'm going to be 50 this year. Well, I didn't even think I was going to get 49. Now I've got to make plans for my 50th birthday. And I'm so excited about it. But I'm also still trying to recognize that I didn't think I was going to be here. I feel like I don't know what I feel like. But then I stopped feeling it because I'm just remembering life is a blessing. Look at all of the amazing people that I've met. All of the amazing, and I remember saying at the beginning of my journey, the community, because when I was housebound and then I'd lost my job, it was very difficult. People knew just to leave me alone. So maybe we'd message on WhatsApp, but I didn't really speak to anyone because my voice was struggling. And then when I was able to message you guys in the comments, be on your live chats, get to know all about your lives, your family, the things you love, that energized me. And as I say, I cannot feel sad when I've got this level of energy coming back and we just keep bouncing this energy back to each other.
Yeah.
And that's
That's how it is in these GLP-1 streets, right? Right, Joe? You know, I remember the first time you commented on one of my videos. It shocked me because my channel was not a health and lifestyle channel when I first started out. My channel was just me showing my interviews that I've done, being a broadcast journalist, and it was that. And then when I got on the GLP-1 February 14th of 2025, I was like, you know what? I need to share my journey with ones out there. And that's when I decided to flip the script on my channel. And any of us who've been in these YouTube streets, we know when you start putting other content on your channel, it won't get pushed out because the algorithm gets confused and they think that they just don't push your content out. And then when my content started getting pushed out, and then when Joe commented on my stuff, and then Felicia, Marie B, you know, and then I started meeting other people, and Grace, yes, and everyone. And I was like, wow, this is really, really cool. And just to find out your journey too, Joe, that really impressed me because as a person with a spinal cord injury, a quadriplegic, I just had my 33rd anniversary from my accident. And they didn't give me that long to live. First, they gave me 24 hours to live. Then they gave me 72 hours to live. And then my health started getting worse as I got older because of what I was eating, what I was ingesting in my body. And I actually showed Joe a picture. I'm going to show it to everyone else.
Yeah.
Somebody, you may not have seen this picture of me, but this was me during COVID. Let me pull this up. And this one right here, Joe, I was about to die. That's how bad off it was. Let me pull it up right quick. All right, let me do this. Sorry. Okay, let me go to share my screen. And here we go. This was me during COVID. That's when I was almost 400 pounds right there.
And there's no way you could show me that and I'd know it was you unless you told me. I do not recognize you at all.
Yeah, but that was me. That was me. And I wasn't a happy camper. My health wasn't that good. Even though I had a sleep machine, I was still waking up like I was catching my breath. And I don't know if in across the pond that you all measure AHI when it comes to sleep apnea.
Yeah.
Mine was 36.8. And that was like just off the charts. I remember my pulmonary doctor said, if you don't lose weight, we're going to have to stick a trach in you so that you can breathe.
Oh, wow.
And you think that would have woke me up and been like, okay, let me stop doing this. Let me do this. But no, I just kept on. I didn't want to change. And it was just by chance I got on a GLP-1.
By chance?
By chance. I got back from CES last year. And Joe knows what CES is all about, the biggest electronic show. So
I've been following your Instagram. I've been keeping an eye on that.
I was working out there, and I came back with a really bad cough. So I went to the doctor just for my cough, and she said, "Oh, we're gonna put you on the scale." I was like, "Why you put me on the scale? I just came here to get some cough syrup." You know what I mean? That's all I wanted to do, right? All I wanted to do. So she puts me on the scale, and she just says, "We got to do something about that." And I was like, "What is she talking about?" She said, "We're gonna put you on something." I was like, "Ozempic?" That's all I knew about, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, just like, wow, I'm that bad now that they want to put me on something. So it took about 2 weeks for them to figure out what they were going to put me on. They did, and they said, "You're going to be on Zepbound." I was like, what the heck is a Zepbound, right? Never heard no Zepbound before. All I heard of was, Ozempic. That's all I heard. I know about those Zepbound, right? So I did my research on it, and I was like, oh, do I really want to be on this? But Joe, I was like, you know who 50 Cent is, right?
Yes.
The rapper. One of his albums, I know RMZ know about this album too. One of his albums was Get Rich or Die Trying.
Yes.
I was gonna get healthy or die trying. I resolved in my mind that if I'm gonna go out swinging. I'm gonna give myself the best opportunity I can to live my life to the fullest. And as soon as I got my prescription, I took it the exact day that I got it. I didn't wait around. I didn't mess around with it.
After the weekends, you didn't do any of that?
No, I went straight in because I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. And I look back at that, Felicia. I'm sorry, Joe. Felicia just came into the house. Felicia Marie B is in the house. Want to say hi?
I can see they've heard. They can hear the names.
I want to get some shout outs right quick. We got another super chat from Carnivore Muscle. Thank you,
Jonathan. You say generous.
And my man RMZ is in the house.
Hey, Charles.
RMZ is the GOAT when it comes to weight loss for men. He is the GOAT. All these other, I don't know why I do this all the time, but I just love to give props when props are due. RMZ's channel should be like 1 million watch all the time because he got the stripes. You know what I mean? He's not a studio gangster. You know, he's like the real deal in these GLP-1 streets. Lost over 100-something pounds. I mean, he is like that's the GOAT right there. So I always got respect for him because he paved the way for all of us. And Felicia Marie B, thank you so much. But I was at a really dark place, and I'm so glad that I did it, Joe, because I didn't realize how bad my mentals was until I got on the GLP-1. I don't know if that, because I was just like I was always a happy person, but I wasn't a pleasant person, if that makes sense.
I'm with you. Yes. Yeah.
It was because my body chemistry was all out of whack.
Exactly. It wasn't anything you'd intentionally were doing, but once our body chemistry goes out of whack, as you say, whether it affects our metabolic health or our hormonal health or our, any of our organ health, then you're not the one who is necessarily in control. That is. And I think maybe the dark place comes from the chemical imbalances of it all. But as you say, for you and I both know that when we stepped on the scales, we knew there was the problem. But did we have the energy itself to get ourselves on the scales before someone put us on the scales? And
absolutely.
I'm not convinced that's because we didn't have any willpower. It was literally that we weren't in control of our bodies anymore.
That's what it was. And obesity is a real disease. Let's give a shout out. Evelyn is in the house. Evelyn has one of the cutest smiles.
So beautiful.
Isn't her smile beautiful? Her smile is just like lights up the room, Evelyn. So we had to give you shots out on that. Purple Bellflower is in the house. Give her a shout out. What's going on?
I love Purple Bellflower.
Purple Bellflower is in the house.
Miss Mary loves Purple Bellflower.
Yes. And Joe, you bring up a very good point. And I think that's why I get so frustrated when people don't take this opportunity serious. It really bothers me, because you and I have come from a place where we were literally dying a slow death. And when you have healthy people who are dealing with some obesity, some blood sugar issues, and they want to just fart around with this opportunity, it bothers me to know it, because I care about people so much. I love hard. And when I see people self-sabotaging themselves, and I'm not talking about, Joe, like we all have our good days and bad days. We all can't be 100 all the time. But when we are talking about, oh, I just don't care, I'm going to be like this, I'm going to do that, that's the disease that is talking. And if we can get them to recognize, like when someone gives some constructive criticism, that they're not raining on your parade, but they see that the disease is starting to get the upper hand. And we want you not to succumb to that disease, Joe. That's where I'm coming from.
There should be no reason why people die from obesity.
Yeah.
But so many people die from obesity, whether it's cardiovascular related, type 2 diabetes, nephrology, where your kidneys fail and stuff like that.
Yeah. People
die from obesity. Now there's all of these medications out there. We need the insurers to help people out, because you and I both know, especially just recently, you was just telling me about the fact that you're not covered anymore. It costs a fortune. But then we look at the difference. Mind you, even now as I'm saying it, it costs a fortune. But when you're not in control and those thoughts are in control, the bad chemistry that's going off in your brain, sometimes I remember thinking, well, at least when I die, my nephews will get my house.
Yeah.
They'll get my pension part. They'll get my retirement funds. They'll get all of that. And that's how I'm able to contribute. And that's not said from a person who loves life.
No.
It's not anything that would come out of my mind, but it came out of my mouth.
Mm-hmm. Joe, you hit on something. No one should die from obesity. You're doggone right, we shouldn't. We shouldn't, because there's medicine out there that can help us out. The GLP-1s.
Yeah.
And when we have been given the privilege of these medications, and that's why, again, he's my guy, he's the GOAT, RMZ. The way that he showed up and showed out when he first got his shot to maintenance right now, I mean, that is the blueprint. Now, even though people say don't compare your journey, but this is my take on it. Okay, let's say we're all on the basketball team, right? And you have your superstars of the team, right? Who are the superstars? Like the Kobe Bryant, the Shaq, or the LeBron, or the Luka, right? Those are the superstars. So RMZ is the Luka and the LeBron James on the team, right?
Yeah.
They're great. What's wrong with me picking up their habits of the greatness that got them to what they're doing?
Ooh, I like that.
Even though I may not be able to replicate what the GOAT is doing, but if I learn his practice schedule, if I learn his nutrition schedule, if I learn his mental game, isn't that going to elevate my game to new heights that I didn't know?
I agree with that to some extent. But one thing that I always say on my channel is, because of the food that I eat, and like we know Jonathan's on here, Carnivore Muscle. I'm a carnivore, but I'm a carnivore because complex carbs mess with I've got chronic inflammation, and complex carbs set off an inflammatory response. So I don't truck with carbohydrates. I'm not saying to other people, you can do what I do and cut out carbohydrates, and this is how we're going to be on our channel. I don't do that, but I kind of let people know that carbohydrates aren't the treat that we always think they are.
Yeah.
When If you sit down with a beautiful piece of fish or piece of steak or a beautiful bit of dark chocolate, for example, you don't need all of the crap that is in there. Which, sorry for swearing, but a lot of us as well, a lot of us will admit that when we are on a GLP-1 and a lot of the side effects that we are having, it's not a side effect of the medication. It's a side effect of the food that we've just tried to eat. And I remember saying to you guys the other day that I do not know what happened. One day I just suddenly ordered a pot of Ben & Jerry's and a double pack of Scottish shortbread. And my mouth was caked. I looked like a hamster with caked crumbs all in my, because I'd shoved this stuff down so quickly. I can't eat Ben & Jerry's because I'm lactose intolerant. I can't eat biscuits, you know, the shortbread, because of the gluten and the wheat in it, that it sets off my inflammation. And I knew I was going to suffer, and that was the last time I suffered. But many of us are still making those choices and knowing that we're going to suffer for two more days because of the choice that we make, but we still make that choice. And I'm trying to, on my channel, I'm just trying to let people know that you don't have to make that choice. Because someone baked you a cake, you don't have to eat it. You can say, thank you, I'll take that home with me. I'll enjoy that when I get home. Thank you so much for this lovely gift. Yeah. But you don't have to eat it knowing that it's going to make you feel terrible.
Yeah. I love that, Joe. And shout out to Felicia Marie B, my Southern California home girl. Thank you for becoming a member. Really appreciate
my
that.
honey bee.
Yes, she is. Felicia Marie B, she has come out her shell so much. Remember how nervous she was when she first had her channel? She was like, oh, I'm real nervous. Now she's like, welcome and welcome back to Slay Slayer Nate. I mean, she is doing the thing. And Joe, you bring up a very good point where that's like with me, like I know certain foods are not good for me. It just messed me up.
Yeah.
And I'm the same way. It's like when you know something is a saboteur, because we're imperfect, we will fall. So we're not going to be perfect on this journey, but try to recognize that saboteur, recognize how you feel after, and try to pivot. And that's one thing, Joe, that you and I were talking about before we came on. I'm a big, Joe and I both like Dr. Now, 600 Pound Life. And Dr. Paradise and Lola are like the psychiatrists on a show. And I think, and this is just me, and I'll do this too. I think all of us who deal with the struggle of obesity should talk to a professional to find out where our triggers are. What was our triggers? What were things that we can learn that can help us out? Because I know there's some deep-seated things going on in me that I've been through in my life that I really need to take care of, you know, because if not, once I get into maintenance, those things might come up if I don't deal with them. So it's kind of like, you know, taking care of all the underlying issues before I get into maintenance and deal with them now while I got the help, instead of waiting later and it's like, I'm back.
Is it wrong then for me to admit, because this is a truth and transparency place. It's a safe space, isn't it? For me, I don't want to revisit them. I don't want to assess them.
Okay.
But with that said, that means I've got no intention of going on maintenance. I am staying on a GLP-1 for the rest of my days, because I know there's no way that I'm not going to be taking it and allow those things to come back. The inflammation, the water weight, all of those things. But I think some of the things that are deep-seated are so, I don't want to, what do they say? Like, let sleeping dogs lie.
That's true.
I think for some of us, the actual trauma of bringing that trauma up can be as harmful as the other stuff. But I've also reconciled that means that I'm going to stay in a GLP-1, because I know I won't be able to handle, whether it's emotional eating, whether it's the self-saboteur, the punisher. Because we've spoken about that before, haven't we?
Yeah.
Where sometimes you'll eat something knowing it's going to knock your body out, and you're doing it because you're punishing yourself. What are you punishing yourself for? There's something where you feel that there's a need to punish yourself, and so you're going to eat that food and make yourself feel lousy. And if I'm honest, maybe that's what happened to me a couple of weeks ago. Do not know, but got out of that mindset and straight back in. As you say, the community helped me. The community helped me get out of that thought process and get back onto the happy vibes.
Joe, I'm glad you shared that because, and that's one thing that I need to learn myself. I'm a big sci-fi person. You know, Joe, you know, I love Star Wars, Star Trek. Joe even made me a picture of me, Starfleet. It was really awesome. I love it. I love it. And I gotta remember what Obi-Wan told Anakin. Remember what he told him?
I'm a Trekkie. I'm not a Star Wars. I'm Star Trek.
No problem. I know RMZ knows this. RMZ, what did Obi-Wan tell Anakin? He said only a Sith believes in absolutes. So I don't want to have this absolute. I don't want to have this absolute mentality with things. You know, sometimes I can be like black or white when it comes to certain things. Like, you know, why don't you do this? You know, get it together. So that's what I need to work on myself because I wish I was able-bodied. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like coming from a place of anger. Like, you know, if I had what you have, if I was able to get up and move my legs, if I was able to stretch, to walk, to run, you know, so I think that's where my frustration is coming from. Because I'm like, y'all don't know how good y'all got it. Try being on this journey when you can't walk, when you can't stand, when you can't get on a walking pad. Try that. And then I'm sitting there like, do you understand just how good you got it? But I have to stop being that way because I have to make sure that I put another one's pain in my heart. So I understand that their struggle, you know. Some people are not disabled, but they may have some things that are going on that's causing them just not to be right. And so that's what I have to be. I'm working on that, Joe. Because I love your perspective of it. You know, I really do.
Well, you know what I'm like, Paul. I'm always looking at that positive mindset, but my positive mindset comes from a point of reality and knowing that some people's reality can bring them low. Mm-hmm. Some people's reality, they need to find a way to get out of that lowness, and that's where my positive thing is. Right from when I was a kid, I've always been a child of hope. You know, there's always a hope out there. Something can be done. Something will be done. You know, like you was mentioning before about, as you say, the elements that we've got that we can't do now. But with hope, we might be able to do them. So let's focus on that rather than focusing on the things we can't do now. But I know that is also it's a protective mechanism as well. Yeah. And I think sometimes some of the things that we use as protective mechanisms can be constructive, but we also know some things can be very destructive, like people who emotionally drink, you know, emotionally become too attached to somebody, and that sort of thing. So I recognize that there's definitely gray areas in that.
Yeah, definitely. Joe just gave me an idea. Time for me to drink out of my tumbler. So if y'all watching, make sure you're drinking. Stay hydrated.
I used to laugh, Paul, and do this whenever Teddy was on. Whenever I saw Teddy in the chat, about Teddy's in the chat.
There you go. I love it.
And it's my way to make sure I got water in. Teddy's in the chat.
Yeah. I love it. What it and Joe, what did Lizzo say? I don't get dehydrated, right? Because we got our water, right? And Joe, when we, you know, we put ourselves out there when we have a YouTube channel, and sometimes we get criticized. Some people will come in our comments and give us some criticism. Joe, how can we objectively look at that? Because we're all humans, you know. Whoever said sticks and stones may hurt my bones, but names will never hurt us. That's a
Sure,
doggone
they
lie.
kidding.
That's a doggone lie because words do hurt.
Yeah,
So
that's what
how
they're there
can
for. They've got
yeah,
meaning, haven't they? Words.
yeah. So how can we kind of read behind or see behind the criticism, the harsh words, and see if there's a kernel of truth there that we can kind of apply? Because somebody may be putting us on to something that could really give us or set us on the road of having success and really trying to help us out. So how can we navigate through that?
I think it's a tricky one, and I'm not necessarily sure I found a solution for it. I remember there was a beat, one of the behind the scenes lives, I think it's one of the first ones. And if JC Calamity Jane's on here now, it was something that happened with me and JC Calamity Jane. And you know me, for me, whatever I'm doing, it's a fun vibe, it's a positive vibe. I'm hoping to give the energy, the energy that I get from the community, I wanted to pass it back. So pass back that good energy and hope someone leaves whatever I'm doing feeling a little bit more brighter. And Janet started tearing up and getting really emotional about something where it was about her dad's passing. I hope she doesn't mind me mentioning this.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, okay, come on then, let's move away from this. And it wasn't so much that I was dismissing her pain, although clearly now I see that I was by saying that. That wasn't my intention. My intention was to protect myself.
Oh, yeah.
Because I didn't want to be getting, because I'm not sure whether, I'm like you. I love hard. We love hard. But I feel what people are going through. And so it's like, my thing is to, no, come on, let's make it all right again. Or that, let's look at the positive, or look at their hope.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that has got nothing to do with the other person. It's on me. So that was a lesson I learned right there in a live situation. And I accepted it. I accepted it gracefully because it was something that I'd not even acknowledged before.
Yeah.
There were some people in your chat that are there just to try and drag you down.
Yeah.
And I've got no, who was it who said it? Was it Carnival Muscle? Might have been Carnival Muscle. Or somebody said it who I'd been watching recently. They said, this area is the space that I've opened up. This is my shop window. Mm-hmm. And my people who come to my store do not need to see that. So if that sort of thing happens on my channel, I think I've only had about 4 trolls in the comments. Mm-hmm. I might have had some trolls on the live chat, but my moderators got rid of those for me. Yeah. My moderators extraordinaire. They get rid of them soon quick.
Yeah.
But I think one thing we have to remember for ourselves is that if they're not paying your bills, why are you paying them any mind?
I love that, Joe.
If they're not paying your bills, why do I give a monkeys what it is that they're saying?
That's true. That's a great point, Joe. I love that. I love that. And Joe, we've talked about a lot of things during our little chat. One thing we didn't mention was, Joe, when you started this journey, how many stones did you weigh? Did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
How many stones did you weigh?
I was 25 stone, which is 351 pounds.
Wow.
And I've always been a big bunny lass, but I've been a curvy bunny lass. And I'd lost all the curve. I was just, like we were saying when we were looking at each other's photos, we became moon-faced, didn't we? And even when we were smiling, you couldn't see our eyes anymore because we were so full of water weight, fat weight, whatever it was. And that's what was happening with me when I first started. But also, did you see that video I put out the other day, just a short of me watching my first video?
Oh, yeah.
And Anissa's from Reset with Anissa. She wrote in the comments, even your voice is different. Mm-hmm. Now, and I knew that I had problems with my voice, that it became like I'd got a speech impediment. So that's why on all of my first videos, I put closed captions on there. because I thought people can't understand what I'm saying because I've got a speech impediment from how big I'd got and how dry my mouth had got and everything. And just seeing now that I feel like I'm becoming back to myself. I've had one of those different transformation journeys that so many other people have, where yes, I was always a big bunny lass, a cuddly girl, and we all know cuddly girls are better girls. You know, the cuddly girls are the ones that people want to cuddle. That's how I see it. So we want the cuddly girls, but my huge amount of weight came in those 5 years, and it was the point that I didn't recognize myself because I didn't have the energy. I didn't have the cheekbones. I always say my dad's cheekbones, but this is how we know who our family is. Who's got these cheekbones? They must be related.
No, I get it.
And I didn't see any of that. I did not see myself in the person I was looking at in the mirror. So now, and I was laughing with you earlier as well, weren't we? Where you said something about how nice I'm looking. And I was like, now I'm happy to hear that. Because I don't think I've always been, you know, one of those ones that go, oh, stop, you don't say that.
Yeah.
But now every compliment that comes my way, I'm accepting it.
There you go.
I'm accepting it because it's said with love. It's said with, we saw where you were, and now look at you. Look, as you say, like now I can't sing very well. But you try and stop me singing. You can't stop me singing.
Yeah, you sing awesome. And Joe, we got a question from Carnivore Muscle. He said, for the blonde guest, did you have any misconceptions? I'm sorry, about GLP-1s before you started them?
Great question. Well, I was blessed on my GLP-1 journey. I was blessed because I found out about GLP-1 from my best friend's husband, and we'd known each other since the 90s. We used to be working clubs together. Now I was saying that my club promoter name was Miss Josephina. Well, he'd be the DJ and I'd be promoting sort of thing. We've known each other for years, but we started to suffer from the same issues, gastro problems, sleep problems. And then just before Christmas last year, they drove me up to their house so I could see my godson. And then Richard comes in, looking incredible, looking fantabulous. And I was like, what are you doing? And he said, I'm on Manjaro. And he said, I've not told anybody else this before. He says, but I'm telling you because I know the problems you're having. And his wife says, the fact that I'm not hearing him die in his sleep every night. And that's a thing that we have to remember. Those of us who are struggling may or may not have sleep apnea. We're not sure. If our partners are telling us we need to get it sorted, we have to, because if we're not getting those things sorted, what we're doing is letting our partner listen to us die every night. And it's only when you take that gasp again that they know that you survived that one, but here comes the next one. And so she said that, and I was like, well, oh my goodness, if it's going to help me sleep better, then I'm taking it. But he said, Joe, this is what you need to do. He says, you're going to suffer with digestive issues. So get prepared for digestive issues. But now you know you're going to suffer from those. The best thing for you to do is the very first meal you have, make it be a plain meal, half the size that you would normally have. He says, because people will tell you your GLP-1 isn't working immediately. I'm telling you that's nonsense. What they do is they find out that there's side effects. And it's not necessarily side effects. It's the fact that they didn't switch up how they were eating as they started the process. So he said that to me. And I was like, right, thank you, Richard. And that's why, touch wood, I've not suffered from any of the horrible side effects that people have had. The only ones I've had are because I've then eaten something
naughty, right? Eating something naughty. Eat something naughty.
And something naughty.
Yes. You know, I have a friend of mine. She's from England. She's been here in the States for almost 40 years, though. You know, I wear a lot of bow ties, and
yes,
she always said, "You got your Dickie bow on." That's what she always said about Dickie bow. So I'm sorry. You know, I know some of the language out there. And
I love that. that.
Yeah.
I love that one. You're gonna have to tell her that you're well chuffed.
Well, Chuck.
Well chuffed.
Well,
That
Chuck.
means that you're very thankful for what she
Okay.
said about your dicky bow.
I love that. I love that. And Joe, I promise you, I was going to keep you late because I know it's got to get you your bedtime and everything. But where are you at now in your weight? How many stones have you lost?
I think stones wise, it's 7 stones something, but I've lost 110 pounds.
Wow, look at you.
I even just saying it, I'm still amazed because that just seems like a figure that you hear on Dr. Now's show, isn't it? You hear these figures and you're like, that could never happen for me. Because
How tall are you now?
I'm 5'6". No, I'm 5'5.5". I lost half an inch. I'm 50 this year.
Yeah, we shrink when we get a little older, right?
Yeah.
And I get what you mean as far as accepting the way we look now, because you saw the way I looked when I looked like I was like the Stay Puft Marshmallow guy who got burnt on the campfire. How big I was, and
you're looking sharp now.
I used to tell people, I said when I was younger I was beautiful, and now since I'm losing weight, they're like, oh, you are beautiful. I told y'all.
I told y'all.
You wait until I lose. See, I haven't weighed myself in a month. I'm gonna weigh myself this Friday, and I promised RMZ, the GOAT. I promised him that I was gonna be in Wonderland with him. So,
yes.
So if my last weight, I was 282 pounds, and so I lost 68 pounds from a month ago. So from that point, I need 83 more pounds to go into Wonderland. Now, Joe, when I go into Wonderland, y'all ain't gonna be able to tell me nothing. I'm gonna be like, I'm fine, and I know it. You ain't gonna tell me. You're gonna tell me that.
King of the dance floor.
Yes. And like you, Joe, I want to make sure I want to stay juicy too. I do want to stay.
Yes.
So I'm working on my, getting all my, strength exercise in and everything, and Joe, before I let you go, is there anything out there you want to tell the community? Anything about any episodes you got coming up? Anything that you want to tell us about your journey? The floor is yours, my dear. And before you do that, I want to say hello to
Keely.
Keely is in the house. Now
You've got to get Keely on.
I do. Keely is amazing. Her channel is like, Keely, when I have you on, I'm gonna have my Dickie bow on, and we're gonna do. Yes, I'm gonna do that as well too. Yeah, Keely is amazing too. If you're not following Keely, check out her channel. Her channel is amazing. And Joe, so before I let you go, anything out there? Oh, I'm sorry, Joe. I have ADHD too, so sometimes my brain. But I want to give a special shout out to RMZ, to Jerlene, and also Carnivore Muscle. Thank you so much for the super chats. You all are amazing. That helped me out now because, like Joe said, I got to pay for my meds now.
Yes.
My meds used to be covered, so I'm out here hustling, trying to get these chips so I can pay for this medication. So,
and as you say, it's a huge amount of money that comes out, isn't it?
Yeah.
In order to pay for the medication.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. So
thank you so much for everyone who's sent a super chat today.
Yeah. And what you can do to help all of us in these GLP-1 streets is just watch our content, like, share it. That helps us with our monetization that we have. That helps us to get a little green, get a little check. But we appreciate all y'all. Joe, the floor is yours, please, my dear. Any closing words?
Closing words. I will refer back to the reason why I started my YouTube channel was because my nephews and nieces had no clue who the real Auntie Jo was. And at that point, when I first started the channel, I had hope that I was going to get better, but I still don't know how long I've got because I've still got the heart issues. But I was determined that my nephews and nieces were going to see the real Auntie Jo. Well, since this journey has began, I have now become an Auntie Joe to thousands of children out there. And that is just a huge contribution to life for me, because of how and well I've been, how and well I still am, but I'm now able to contribute. And not only are my nephews and nieces and my godchildren able to see the real Auntie Joe, but all your children are on that Auntie Joe's bedtime stories. On my channel, there's no cost. You don't have to pay anything. So if you want a story for your children, by all means, just let me know, and I'll write stories for your children, because I love children, and I'm loving the fact that I'm here now and able to write my little bedtime poems and dedicate them to your children, because I'm here, and I'm because life is blessed. Life is blessed. There, that's it. Sorry, I'm gonna get all teary up again. So life is blessed.
Hey, but you know what, Joe? I bet you if you did cry, it's not an ugly cry. It'd be a cute cry. Because you have a cute cry. Now I have an ugly cry. My cry, like, oh, you know, I'm like Michael Jordan, the crying Jordan. You know what I mean? But Brenda Marlene has a question. So Joe, you and I started around the same time and very close to the same weight. Has anyone said to you, you're losing it too fast? I'm almost down 100 pounds, but I'm hearing I'm losing it too fast.
I tell you what, Brenda, if anyone dares tell me that, I'm going to respond, but I will respond nicely. However, people aren't saying anything to me, to my face, because most of the people who are on my channel understand my journey and understand as well that a lot of my weight was water weight, because remember, I've got primary aldosteronism, which means that my body was retaining water until it's getting fixed, like my good friend Kim J. Kim J and I are primary aldosteronism sisters. And so a lot of the things that I've been doing, where I eat one meal a day, but it's very, very animal protein rich. You know, people know that I'm eating a lot of food a day, and nobody said anything to me personally. But you know, that no one said anything to me personally, I'm just going to remind them of my journey. And, you know, you can't tell me that I'm losing weight fast. What I'm doing is I'm reclaiming my life. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to be stopping at a silly weight. I'm not going to be stopping at, I want to stay juicy. So like me and Brenda, we're juicy women, and our men like how juicy women. I'm saying our men, I'm still single. So, you know, put that out there for me as well. Well, I'm still single. Not
for long, Joe. Somebody about to wife you up. Watch, they're gonna be like, "Hey Joe, throw that blue hair on them, girl." They won't.
My goodness, that blue hair.
They wouldn't know how to act. I'm telling you, Joe, put that blue hair on them.
That's well. The thing is, Auntie Joe now. The kids know Auntie Joe has blonde hair.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to stay with Auntie Joe blonde for the time being. But yeah, I think if anyone has got a thought about what your weight loss is, I think you have to go back to the thing that Paul said earlier on. Is there any truth in that criticism? Are you cutting too much? Are you suffering too hard for this weight loss? We shouldn't be suffering for this weight loss, because who is it? I think Mindy says it. Mindy says, this is going to be the rest of our lives. Mm-hmm. And the way that we wanted to look and get back to, or whatever it is going to be the thing that we sustain. And if we're hurting doing that, it's not sustainable. So if you are losing too much weight and too quickly, you kind of know you are.
Yeah.
But if you look and you go, no, I'm not, they ain't paying my bills.
That's what I say. Now, if they want to start paying for my stuff, then we can talk. But if you ain't contributing to it, you know, that's what we're talking about.
Zip it.
Tell them to zip it. Yeah. But Joe, what time is it out there your way now?
It's just gone 8 p.m. So if anyone's got any questions, then I'm happy for questions. But if not, then we could call it.
Yeah.
You know that I do want to dance before we go.
Oh yeah, we are. Dance. Yeah, we are gonna dance. Calamity Jane's in the house. Calamity Jane is going to be my guest soon on these GLP-1 streets. Kimmy J, you don't know, but you're going to be a guest on the show. RMZ don't know he can be a guest on the show. And Akita's going to be on the guest. Carnivore Muscle, I'm going to get all Cookie J.
You should get Carnivore Muscle on as well.
Yes, I'm going to get him.
But it's a good time. This is a good time in these GLP-1 streets. Yeah. So if Paul comes to call in, please accept the invite. It's so much fun.
You know it. And so what Joe and I are going to do right now, we're going to dance our way out. If there's any questions that pop up, we'll answer. But we're going to dance to these GLP-1 streets. We're going to dance to the original version. All right?
I think everyone else should, because we can call it cardio. Yes,
I'll do cardio, okay? You guys ready? So I should do the fast one then, right? Right, Joe? Should I do the fast one or the slow one? Which one should I do?
Let's do the fast one again then.
Okay, here's the fast one. Let's get some cardio together.
Y'all ready to roll? You about to hear Paul Amadeus laying in DGLP1 streets. Known by many as Paul on wheels. We making it do what it does. Letting people know how I feel. Let's ride, we talking health, talking grind, breaking barriers clean. No excuses on the journey, we stay chasing the dream. Get your mind locked in, set your goals on repeat. We got ups, we got downs, but we still don't miss a beat. Oh, in GLP-1 streets, we moving with pride. Hear the trends, hear the wins, got creators worldwide. We make it do what it does, never stopping to climb. Living better every day, one step at a time. Hey. Shout out RMZ, always keeping it real. It's Darian with the fire, got that GLP-1 feel. DD the downsizing diva, simply Taisha in the zone. Losing the grace, bring the truth, steady holding her own. Calamity Jane slide through, yeah, she bringing the flame. Perfectly pounded, moving strong, everybody know her name. Teddy D and Toby rolling steady on the ride. G's 101, locked in on that lifestyle pride. Traces of twine, showing how to stay consistent every day. Cookie chipping everybody on in a special way. Man, he been holding down from the start. Pepper Bellflower worked hard, slid right into them jeans, did a part. Melt to the beat, keeping the conscience tight, keeping all of us in line just right. And a special shout out to the queen of GLP-1 streets, Bob. Health at any cost, slaying this game for years, someone we all look up to, no matter the call. Heart of Johnny, Felicia, Marie B, and Jules cross the sea. Yeah, this GLP-1 movement hits globally. We stay focused on the prize, on the life that we seek. Welcome to DGLP1 Street.
That's how we do it, y'all. We love you, love you, love you. Joe, love you, girl. Thank you so much. You are amazing.
Thank you, Paul. You're amazing. You're amazing.
No, we gotta get together and do some chair dancing, exercise. We gotta do a video with that. All right? We'll definitely do
you write the tunes. I'll come up with the workout.
All right, we'll do it. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us. This was a special DEEZ GLP-1 Street. We did it 11 a.m. here, West Coast, California time, 7 o'clock time for Joe across the pond. So all the ones who I have across the pond, we'll do it earlier and we'll get together and have some fun. But thank y'all so much. And remember this, stay healthy, stay safe. And I love y'all to life. I really mean it. Thank you guys for your support. We are here together. We got this, and let's do it. Stay well, everyone.